Good morning students, welcome to the next part of reproduction in plants. Today we are going to study about vegetative propagation. Before we begin, let's have a small recap. So beginning with the definition, what is the definition of reproduction? The process which involves the production of new individuals of its own kind. There are two types of reproduction, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction requires no formation of gamete. A single parent split up into two individuals and lead an independent life. Whereas sexual reproduction is a very complex process involving two separate organisms behaving as male and female, producing gametes, then the fusion of gametes, and finally giving rise to zygote and the new individual. Then in the last video we have also studied the different types of asexual reproduction, that is your fission, budding, sporulation and fragmentation. These are the four processes we have already studied. Now as we are doing reproduction in plants, apart from sexual and asexual method, there is one more type of reproduction called vegetative propagation. Now in this what happens? The vegetative parts of the plant, that is your root, stems and leaves, give rise to new plants. And this kind of propagation do not involve the formation of gametes. Here no gametes are formed. Then what is the main advantage of vegetative propagation? It's very easy to grow, and when you plant it, it requires very less attention in its initial stages. It is very speedy and then economical also, giving rise to number of plantlets with the vegetative parts and huge production of harvest or your crops. Next, vegetative propagation is also very useful in growing seedless plants like your banana, grapes and all. These plants do not produce viable seeds, or certain plants take lot of time to germinate. The seeds of those plants take lot of time to germinate, like your rose. If you sow the seed, rose seed, it will take around 3 years or more than that to germinate. As a result, what happened? It's very difficult to get the rose plant. Also, you have to take lot of care. Whereas when you just plant the cuttings, the stem cuttings of rose, you will get the new plant within 15 days. New shoots sprout up, and then it also gives you flowers and fruits much before the time that is required for a plant that grows from seed. So you get fruits and flowers also earlier, and it's very economical, giving you huge amount of harvest. So these are some of the advantages of your vegetative propagation. Not only this, even you can maintain the genetically make up, because they are identical to their parents. They are clones, exact copy of their parents. It is also helpful in developing high yielding and disease resistant varieties of fruits. Suppose you have a disease resistant variety of fruits or any disease resistant variety of plants, you can grow it multiple times and get the same amount of harvest with same desired qualities. So let's begin with the different types of vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation occurs naturally also, and we can carry out artificially also. So first of all, natural vegetative propagation, and next is your artificial vegetative propagation, which is done manually. and natural vegetative propagation occurs in nature. This is done in three ways. One from roots, one from stems, and other from leaves. So naturally vegetative propagation takes place through roots, stems and leaves. So beginning with roots, the roots like sweet potato and dahlia. Example is your dahlia and sweet potato. In these roots, what happens? These roots swell up and store food, and when stored in soil, in the next season they will develop into new plant. It will give rise to new plant. Now coming to stem. Stem, there are four types of modification in stem. They are tuber, rhizome, bulb and palm. Now in tuber what happens? Your example is potato. So all of us have seen potato. Now how do we know this potato is an underground stem? Because it has eyes. You have seen these eyes. When the favorable conditions are available, what will you see? From these eyes, new white sprouts germinate. Now what is that new sprout? Those are nothing but the radicals. These radicals will develop into root system later on, and this plant will give rise to this part. If you cut this part, the part of potato with an eye, if you sow it in the soil, it will give rise to new shoot and root system. Thus it will develop into a new plant. Then coming to rhizome. In rhizome, example is your ginger. So all of you have seen ginger. You can see there are many branches. These divisions are clearly visible. Now how do we know this ginger is a stem? First of all, the ginger grows horizontally under the soil, whereas tuber grows vertically, that is perpendicular to the soil. So tuber grows vertically under the soil, whereas rhizome grows horizontally under the soil. The margins that you see are the nodes. We know stem has nodes and internodes, and this is your internode. Then comes your leaves. You can easily peel off the ginger. So these are your scaly leaves, and these are your apical tip, apical buds from which new shoots arise. So thus rhizome is an underground horizontally growing modified stem and stores food. Both, all these four types, you will see the stem stores food. So tuber also stores food, ginger, that is your rhizome, also stores food. Now coming to bulb. This is your ginger. Now coming to bulb. Now what is bulb? All of you have seen onion. So this is your onions. This is your onion. Now we all know this part is your leaves. This is your leaves. So where is the stem? This is your root. So where is the stem? This small disc dry part which we often remove before slicing the leaves. Here in onion, the leaves store food. The stored food is in the form of leaves. So this is your stem. So in bulb, the stem is highly reduced and form a disc shaped structure. And the part you can see this, these are your apical growths which give rise to new shoots. So this is how your bulb, that is your onion. Example is onion. They grow and have a modified small discoid stem. Now coming to palm. Palm, what we know as sorrel. They are flat, elliptical, underground stem with highly condensed nodes and internodes. So this is your internode. Highly condensed internode. They are flat. Palms are flat underground stems. Again they store food, and then in the next season they will give rise to new plant. All the modification of stem, that is tuber, rhizome, bulb and palm, are biennial plants. Means 1 year they will produce these fruits and next year they will produce seeds. So they are biennial plants. When you sow the seed, you get the fruits, and when you sow the stem part, then you get the new shoot, and in that seeds are produced. Clear? Now coming to leaves. Leaves example is Bryophyllum. Now in Bryophyllum what happens? Adventitious roots develop along the edges. New adventitious roots develop along the edges of the leaves, leaf margin. So these are your adventitious roots. And these are your young shoots or young leaves. So in Bryophyllum what will happen? Small shoots develop along the margin of the leaves and along with the adventitious roots. Now when they grow slightly, when they become heavier, they detach themselves from the parent plant and then fall on the suitable substratum or suitable soil and develop into new plants. We can also cut this part and sow it manually, carrying out artificial vegetative propagation. Clear? So these are the types of your natural ways of vegetative propagation. Now let's study about the artificial vegetative propagation. Now before we go to artificial vegetative propagation, there is one more subtype of stem vegetative propagation is through subaerial stem. Now what do you mean by subaerial stem? All these stems what we see here is underground stem. So your modification is your underground stem. All the parts that we have studied, all the types that we have studied is an example of underground stem. Now coming to subaerial stem. Subaerial stem means neither it is totally under the soil nor it is totally in air. It grows along the surface of the soil and then develops into new shoots. So this can be easily seen in grasses with subaerial stems. So this is your grass. This is your adventitious roots. And this part that you see is your subaerial stem known as stolons. These are your subaerial stems called stolons. They grow along the level of the soil, on the surface of the soil, and has nodes at regular intervals. As soon as this node germinates or give rise to adventitious roots, new plants can grow from this. This can be also seen in grasses, strawberry, oxalis. Many such plants are there which will show which will show subaerial propagation.